What is up, my viewers? If you haven't guessed, the game started a little unexpectedly for me. This is a replay sent in by Cobra 11111111111, whatever. Yeah, lots of ones. Not too many. He's only got 5, but so if you haven't guessed it, this will be a commentary on a viewer submitted replay. And this is a tier 5 match with him and his KV-1, a tank I did not have too much experience using. I sold mine pretty quickly when the patch rolled out that replaced the KV with the KV-1 and the KV-2 and it also threw in the T150 and all that fun stuff. So looking across the line, the match seems to be fairly even. Looking at the tanks each side has, tiers seem to be very even. Artillery, the enemy team might have a slight, yes, they do have a slight advantage, but I won't say it's anything significant. So let's continue this replay without any further ado. And right here, I'm getting a massive frames per second drop. Let me see if I can resolve this issue, and I'll get right back to you. Well, as far as I can tell, I'm not entirely sure what was causing that massive frames per second drop. But it is apparently gone now, so that is always a good thing. Now, if you look at the map, which would be easier if I maximized it, this is an encounter battle on steps. Yes, I almost forgot the name of the map. And yeah, it's a pretty decent match right now. His team's losing by 2, and that leopard is kind of trying to drive off here into the distance, but he's not gonna get very far. No, he isn't. He's gonna try to go around this corner. Oh, just gets right away from him. The enemy team apparently launching artillery at our friend here, but not even damaging anything. And he's angling his armor a bit towards this M10 and this T49 tank destroyers that really have no business trying to take on this tank. Now that KV-1 on the enemy team, completely oblivious to our friend here. He's gonna get some shots in the side, and now he realizes just the trouble he's in, but the enemy team certainly has enough forces right there. His team not really sending anything over to the capture point. Now, while I don't necessarily disagree with the strategy of hitting the enemy hard from the side, we all know what happens if you don't send a single tank over there. Now, the Greel doing some splash damage, weakening our friend a little more. He's getting pretty hurt at this point, and that Churchill, in my opinion, that Churchill should have been easily able to take on that M4. Now our friend's gonna have to handle that full health M4, which is now a 3-shot, I'm guessing. Not completely sure, but he's not in a good position to handle him. Potentially able to kill him here with this next shot, angling his armor slightly and able to kill that M4. Not really sure what was up with his reload time. That M4, I know, is able to fire every 2 to 3 seconds, at least when I played it. And I think he must have been looking for a spot to get through his armor, but wasn't quite able to get it. That KV-1 on the enemy team, completely having his entire broadside exposed to our friend here. Gonna take 1 shot, and 1 more shot should finish him off, especially if he keeps exposing his side armor like that, and there we go. The enemy team on the capture point at this certain time in the match, you know, and this is what I was saying, you need to have someone spotting that capture so that the enemy cannot win by capture. If nothing else, just to light up artillery for you. Now, the teams are even in terms of tanks lost, at least in numbers. There you go. His team pulling ahead slightly right there. The enemy team only having 1 artillery piece left, which means his team has a slight arty advantage. Now his team up by 2 tanks, and the capture point still, from what I can tell, is completely unguarded. There's no one spotting it, but if I had to guess, I'd say that's just bad radio. Short range radio is not really showing all the tanks on the map, because I count 6 tanks that aren't artillery, and I only see 4 lit up on the map. So there are probably 2 over near that capture point that we cannot just, like I said, it's radios. And when you're in these lower tier matches and you don't have the upgraded radios, that's gonna happen. You won't see where everyone on your team is. And here Cobra telling them to stop the cap. And yeah, it's not a huge danger considering how long it does take to capture. The team's evening up now due to, I'm guessing, one of the tanks near the cap getting killed, and another tank, that medium tank that was trying to get to the enemy's base, getting killed. So he's going after artillery, and I am hoping that, what is that? That's a BDR, right? Yes, it is. It is a French tier 5 heavy tank. Perhaps the, well, no, I was going to say the French don't, I need to become more familiar with the French line. I was going to say, don't the French get a tier 4 heavy as well? But even if that is the case, that is not important this match. That T-28, a very easy target for our friend here. The T-28, at least when I used it, was not that good, but that was several patches ago. So in terms of how it handles now, I have no idea, but it might be decent. To be honest, most tanks are decent if you play them right and if they're fully upgraded. This Grill gonna get himself killed. I'm not sure who's gonna get the kill here, our friend Cobra or that French tank destroyer, and it looks like that TD will get the final shot here, unless he's ever so courteous. There we go. I think he was just playing very cautious there, probably overly cautious if you ask me, although he is an open top tank, and high explosive shells do more damage to open top armor. Anything that has an open cover, typically tank destroyers and artillery, take additional damage from high explosive rounds. Now at this point in the match, he is his team looking like they might lose. That BDR getting on the capture point, making the enemy team lose a bit of their points, but the enemy team still having 4 tanks. From what I gather, they are all over there. No, one of them is in his base, about to eliminate his artillery. That is very unfortunate for them, but I'm not sure where the second artillery is. Again, short radio ranges are limiting our intelligence on this map. BDR apparently is getting prompted to move up and stop the capture point because they are at 86%, 87 at this point, and that's a full health Churchill. I definitely tell the Churchill saying we're good, but that Churchill definitely providing some deterrence for this team. T-40 gonna get himself, wow, apparently the T-40 had a lot of capture points, and well, that probably combined with the Churchill, but both of those just getting their capture points completely knocked off. Our friend here is probably gonna get Defender if most of those points were on the T-40, which they might have been. We'll see here very shortly enough. The T-40 getting eliminated by that BDR. The KV-1, a one-shot for him and completely exposed. His side armor is going to be a nice, juicy target. The Churchill does have a rapid rate of fire, and I'm fairly certain it can get through the KV-1's armor without much difficulty. He's getting through that Churchill's armor better than expected. I saw yellow, and therefore I did not exactly expect him to punch through that, but as you saw, he easily got through it. Now we have that T-28 causing problems. The Churchill exposing his side armor, and here we go. This T-28 really not having a snowball's chance. Like I said, the T-28, when I played it, I was not very impressed with it, and I am almost certain that this T-28 does not stand a ghost of a chance against this KV-1. He is just outclassed in every way conceivable, and this T-28, he has the option to run away, I suppose, but then he would just lose by capture as opposed to losing by elimination. And our KV-1 friend here, Mr. Cobra, not wanting to win by capture, but instead by team elimination, you know, kind of the method I prefer. The T-28 appearing to come to the brawl and getting himself eliminated, so at least dying with some dignity. Cobra saying good game, because it was certainly a good game. Now, he did manage to make 1,155 experience. Very good, considering he is not premium, and a good amount of credits as well. So let's just look at what he did. 16 shots fired, 14 hit the target, so very good accuracy. Only taking 4 hits there, but you know, as low of a tier as this was, and with the heavy hits he took, it's about right, you know, considering. So Sniper, like I commented on, good accuracy, so he did get himself Sniper and Top Gun. Defender going to that BDR, good job to that BDR, because without him, Cobra's team would have lost to capture. Now, it's, like I said, overall a good match. His team a bit off to a rough start there in the beginning without watching the capture point and all that fun stuff, but they definitely managed to make up for it in the end, coming on top with a win in a very close match. So if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And if you have a replay like Mr. Cobra here, send it to spanglereplays@gmail.com. Email will be in the description. And as always, this is Spang signing off.